Welcome, Santiago. It's really a pleasure to have you with us. Today, I'm joined with Natalie, the lead of our global outreach from Numbers Protocol. Today, we will be doing a small interview about the onboarding of you as our featured creator in our capture camp. So, how are you doing today?
I'm good. Thank you so much for the invitation for this interview, and I hope I could share something as being selected as the featured artist.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely. I'm really glad to hear that. So before I dive into the deeper question, so I'm curious, do you have any hobbies or activity that usually help you maybe unwind or enjoy yourself?
oh, hobbies. I have a lot. You see, at my back, I surrounded myself with. They say that you should surround yourself with beautiful things, to enjoy life. I surrounded myself with books.
Yeah, I see lots
So
of books.
I
Yeah.
actually love reading. In fact, as you know, I'm a writer, I'm an author. I love listening to music, any kind of music, contemporary or even the classical ones. I love movies too, but I rarely watch movies nowadays. Netflix sometimes if I have ample time. But lately, since I am more in depth into digital art, so I would rather enjoy, doing some artworks online.
I think I was pretty amazed when I had a first conversation with San Diego when he mentions that different role that he played, like writing a
Yeah.
poem, being an
Yes.
artist, not only just the digital art, but also the physical painting, etc.
Yes.
So, and also as a lectures in a university and join different art
Oh,
community,
yes.
the
Yes.
one that encourage others. I think that's where that I was pretty amazed that you will be able to play a different role, not only just yourself as a creator, but
Mhm.
also that to uh encourage more creators that to be themselves, to be not to be afraid to put out their contents out there to share
Mhm.
with the others. I think that's the where that's very impactful.
Oh yeah, yeah. Although I left the college way back in 2001, I guess. So some sort of I retired early, and so that I could concentrate on writing and art, And of course, there's the community where I am in, so trying to help them. We're my group actually, the visual arts group. We're trying to build some sort of galleries, small galleries, or call it mini galleries, because we don't have it here in my location, in my province, up north in the Philippines. So we've just started, and then for the last few months, actually, we came out with two galleries only, but that's a start because we were able to encourage our young writers and visual artists to exhibit their works and having fun doing it. Yeah.
Let's talk about your exciting journey. So could you tell us how it all began for you, a bit about yourself and your work as a writer?
Okay. I work in Manila, the central capital of the Philippines, for 28 years. As I mentioned earlier, I retired early, and I was an instructor. I also held different positions. For example, I work in the library, and we went back to some top positions eventually. But then I had this special what do you call this special work for the school as an instructor. I taught literature in the college. So it's not a permanent work, but then I was able to practice my craft, teaching literature at the same time I was writing while still working. Also, unfortunately, it's because of the COVID-19 pandemic. I went back to my home province for, it's not supposed to stay long, but some sort of a vacation. But unfortunately, COVID-19 happened. And I was given the opportunity to, retire early. So I grabbed the opportunity. And of course, since I am retired, I focus now on the writing, particularly poetry. I have actually authored 6 poetry books, and they are on Amazon. They're available for purchase in Amazon. And in addition to my literary pursuits, I am actively engaged in painting, photography, digital art, all those three, because they are actually interrelated. So, being part of a group called Awiran ng Pangasinan or Pangasinan Academy, yeah, I mentioned earlier also that we dedicated establishing art spaces for art spaces and small or mini galleries to provide platforms for our fellow artists here in the province, artists and creatives, to exhibit their works. So that's basically my short short uh,
Yeah,
life as an artist and writer.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's quite a unique line of interests and skills you have there. So yeah, I feel you about the COVID-19 thing. So yeah, I think like lots of people, including artists, they quite struggle at that time. So I really hope
Yes.
you are doing well right now, and I can see you are doing pretty well right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Enjoying
that's really amazing.
enjoying my newfound hobby, capture cam.
Yeah. Okay. When and how did you first came across capture cam and numbers protocol? May I ask?
Actually, I think in the middle of 2022, I downloaded it into my phone. I do not know how to use it first because somehow there's this when it saves a photo in the blockchain, it stops for a little while, and I do not know it stops from there. So I did not touch it until I explored it, and then I think by December, I subsequently took the time to familiarize myself with the app. And at the same time, a friend of mine introduced me to the so-called concept of artworks being minted as NFT. So I
Mhm.
get interested with NFT, and I remember that there's this NFT thing in Capture app. It's in my phone, and when I open it, uh, I was able for some reason it minted the first photo that I uploaded, and then oh my, so that's I was so excited to explore it more, and yes, and from the exploration of the capture app, I was able to learn about numbers protocol. So I went to the website, check it out, and it's just interesting because uh numbers protocols advocacies in provenance, decentralized storage, and monetization, right? As part, I mean, as an NFT, and those subject matters are interesting to me at present, and that's why as an artist and as a writer, so I explored those things, and that's where I get to, you know, fell in love with the capture app and use it more often than my phone camera.
I
So
think
it's
fall
interesting.
I think falling in love is really the right words because we can see a lot of time when I open the app, I always see San Diego's works, no matter it's
Yes.
or art pieces. I mean, recently in a recent month, we see San Diego really actively using it, not only just to
Mhm.
showcasing the works that the creativity works that he did, but also that I think I came across some other photos also
Yes,
they
yes.
being part of the events and you are documenting
Yes,
the
yes.
those events. I think that's also some unique perspective that Capture Cam app can bring. Uh,
Mhm.
as the same concepts, we are also using the capture concepts within the other ceremony or the awards events because it
Right, right,
documenting the date, the time. I
right.
think it brings this like different information to people that how those images there are a lot of information to read behind every image that you see. So I think that's also that I mean I personally are really glad to see that San Diego using capture cam
Yes,
as
yes,
also alternative taking the
mm,
documentary of the
yes,
photos.
yes. Uh, it's really interesting because using it, this small app can actually document things, and documentation for me is very important. Being an artist and and a writer is quite important. So I experimented on it. Why not take these photos and since it is in the blockchain, so it's definitely dates, important events are recorded there. So yeah, I had having so I tried that several times already as a part of documenting events. Also, let's say historical photos that are previously posted, those are very important because I have a lot of collection of those that I don't want to throw away. I did not post them online, so I'm trying to figure out perhaps somehow, uh, even if they are an old photos, it's still a record. It's still part of history, and I think capture cam could help this preserve those memorable stored memorable events stored in photos, even if they are already in the past events. But of course, just I'm just careful because I have to check the dates, are this really accurate. That's very important. Yeah.
Yeah. So speak on with you have uh you recently said that you just entered the world of NFTs. So
Mm-hmm,
may I
mm-hmm.
know what's the catalyst for this interest? So what makes you get interested in NFT and eventually got into capture cam?
Oh, okay. uh as a poet and as a writer, as a poet, as a digital artist, I am always on the lookout for innovative platforms to show my works. And not only me, my friends' works also. While I have traditionally shared my works on mainstream social media like Facebook, the you know allure of going into the world of NFT, since I discovered it, really excite me because this is some sort of transforming my artworks into NFTs and then put the value. It's not the value actually. It's just the fun of it that you can actually give at least a small value to your work while you post it on social media. And I think as a writer, I'm also looking for how do I put add more value to my poetry, and I discovered that also using capture cam. I write my poems and then take a photo of it and then upload it. And there, the poetry is in blockchain, and it can be converted or minted into NFT. There's a workaround to it, and I'd love sharing protected works now in social media. Confident that my work is secure, that it will not be easily copied. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just to add one more small things here is that I mean, just also to echo what Santiago said, as
Mm.
that uh I think creativity is also a process. The
Yes. Yes.
content we see is just the end products they deliver to people.
Right.
But there's a process in there, including the time that you take, the inspiration that you have to writing one poem or creating one images. So I
Yes.
think there should be also a way that to document the process of it. So
Right.
I think
Right.
you mentioned adding the value. So I think that's where I would like to input and also would like to invite you to experiment more in the future next year, is that how each images or how the process can be documented.
480. Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I think I've done that. I think I've done that several times. There was this the marriage of poetry and the visual art. For example, I have this artwork, and then I put it into blockchain and mint it as. But then I wanted to add a poem into that image, and what I did was that add the a sonnet in the comment, or the what they call that, the caption section of the image, so it can actually save the 14th line. But I do not know if somebody is going to collect it, the poem will also be included there. I haven't checked it out. So but then that's how I was able to, fuse the two, textual and visual at the same time, and using the capture app. Of course, the process of creating those works, from writing or creating uh, digital art, I had some recordings of that also. But
Oh,
I haven't uploaded any videos yet of that. It's for my personal, let's say, did you really do this poem, or did you really created this art? Then I have something to show them that, okay, this is the process, this is the video. You can see it in the video, something like that. Yeah.
that's nice, because we do have a feature which is not public to the users yet, but
Mm-hmm.
in our system we do design as a way that how we can define each different asset as a derivative
Mm-hmm.
assets related to the other images. So
Oh,
I
wow.
think that's if like you already have a recording of the process of how you
Mm-hmm.
make it this content, and then
Mm-hmm.
you have the final content, then we will be able to build this relationship between these two. So then
Right,
whenever anyone collect the final works, but they can
right,
also have a view of the what's the process that's being made. Maybe just it could be a video or it's different material. That's it. So it's
right,
good
right.
to hear that you're also documenting that. So well, I will share that with
Yeah.
the next year. Well, hopefully
Yeah.
to open this feature to
Yeah. Hopefully I could share it in the near future, but it's not all of my artworks that are actually documented. Some that are, I just had fun with it, but documentation is possible. Yeah.
nice.
So yeah, I also saw your capture your one of them a picture of flower with a poem with it. So yeah, I
Oh
saw it.
yes, yes.
Yeah, and I think one of our Twitter account is also reach posted it promoted yesterday. I
Oh
saw it.
yeah, yeah,
So yeah,
yeah.
that's actually really
Thank you so
amazing.
much.
So yeah, the digital art space I think is evolved quite rapidly. So how do you have any insight, like how do you see the current trend in AI and NFTs impacting your work and your industry?
Okay. I think the integration of AI in creative process, including digital art and literature, has expanded the possibilities for artists and writers. AI tools assist the agitation, perhaps, come up with ideas, or help the writers to come up with ideas, design, and even generate content. That is now possible with with the advent of AI. NFTs have revolutionized digital ownership, allowing artists to tokenize me as an artist, tokenize my works, and established verifiable ownership on the blockchain. That is very interesting, and the trend has gained momentum. And with artists from diverse fields, I believe not only for example, in music, they can explore NFT platforms for exposure and monetization. But it's up to them. But these are the trends now. Now, underlying the blockchain technology of NFT offers transparency, of course. I learned that from the your website, the numbers protocol, security and traceability. This has implications beyond NFTs, actually influencing how intellectual property is managed and protected. Creative industries will be protecting creative industries in the near future. Uh, as of now, we are just in the infancy level, perhaps, when it comes to that, but it will be definitely be a trend as I see it. That's how I see it. Regarding the impact on my work, uh, I would emphasize that generative tools and NFTs significantly shape the expansive terrain of digital creativity and content generation. I would not say AI per se, but the generative art tools particularly, because that's how we use the artists use it. Some of us actually use it. There are naysayers, but most of us are actually using it already. In terms of the impact in the industry, NFT offers artists encompassing poets and digital artists new channels for monetization, or maybe they just do it just for the fun of it, just to add value to their works, and I think that is quite interesting nowadays. And uh, what else? This direct to fan model proves empowering creators like me, to enable us to earn directly from our audience. That is also the trend. Of course, there is now a community of uh, artists and collectors. There's a huge community out there that actually are now interconnected network, you know, has the potential to perhaps stimulate collaboration. You know, this is between artists and collectors, and maybe exhibitions too. That this would really heighten the visibility of the creative individuals like me. So that's how I see the trends uh, and in IE and NFTs. Exposure, more on the exposure of the artist. Now that he was easy empowered that, hey, I can now explore this NFTs. I will bring my art to the world. Here it is. Yeah, and I think I'm doing that.
Uh, I think with this advancement, like we are the technology is really advancing quite well, very quickly
Mhm.
recently. So I think there should be a challenge. It should be challenging for lots of industry. So do you see any incoming challenge to your industry currently?
You mean problems that we encounter?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. I think I attended a discussion or a conference on or about AI, and a lot of questions were asked in that conference, particularly the ethical dilemma. AI generated content raises ethical questions about authorship and originality, and sometimes the boundaries between human and machine creativity you do not know anymore. If it is a generated content, determining also who owns the rights to AI generated works. Those issues are quite complex at the moment, and we have not resolved it yet. Even here in the Philippines, our copyright laws are not have not tackled anything about artificial intelligence. So there's a big problem actually. There's also the concern on the quality and the authenticity of materials generated by AI. Uh, we all know that AI generated content may lack the emotional depth, the nuance of uh, the new one associated with the human creativity. The AI materials generated works cannot really do that. Also, the ensuring the quality of or the authenticity of the agent, which remains a significant challenge, definitely, until they come out with something new laws, perhaps. And there's also the question on job displacement, particularly jobs that are automated, that can be automated by artificial intelligence. And I think writers like me, editors, or artists, even artists are actually affected, and they might be, or we might be replaced by automated AI programs later on. That is one of the main concern. And collaborating with AI tools may pose challenges in maintaining creative control. You know, who owns this? Is it, are you you're controlled by AI? Is everything, your job is controlled by AI, or you as a human control the AI? You know, there's that thing. There's just that questions that actually came from some of the students. We have to, you know, really strike the balance between human direction and machine assistance. That is very crucial. AI is supposed to be a tool, you know, and the human should be, you know, the one in control and not the AIs. They're just tools. Like when they introduced the first Windows or the first Microsoft Office. These are tools. There's also the legal and copyright issues. Yeah, it has something to do with the ethical dilemmas. Until now, they cannot determine if the AI generated works can be copyrighted by the one who generated the text or the materials. Like I said, in my country, we haven't updated our copyright laws that it includes the AI generated materials. There's a lot of naysayers for that. So I do not think even the US has finalized any updates on materials like that. So those are basically the problems that I foresee, and that should be addressed sooner, you know, because a lot of people are now producing, even posting AI generated works online, and that's very dangerous.
To share here, I think I still remember this morning when I'm reading news and informations on LinkedIn on the website. I came across a post that they posting newly generated images today and using the new AI generated tool, and the image look like very, very real.
Right.
It just reminds me that just earlier this year, like I think around maybe I mean just the Q1 of this year, people start using the tool and to generate photos. We still can see that there are some unrealistic part of it.
Yeah.
But I think within just 10,
but it's almost real.
yes, it's just only 1 year, and then
Yeah.
it looks like almost as a real person, as a
Yeah.
really exists over there. So this is, to me, is the really crazy. And
Yeah.
I can just see that my parents, if they are reading things online, how could they even define what they should trust and what not to?
Yeah. Right. There's the dilemma there.
Yeah. I think in our team is that there's always I would say belief, but it's always a thing that we will really live in a world, a society where we can only believe in things that they are already being verified, and
Right.
not the rest of them. You should always doubt about it. You should always question about them.
Always question it first.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Until proven that they are actually
yeah.
real.
So
Yeah, it's really fast. I mean, the development is really that fast that even in the art world, you wouldn't believe that I could actually generate a painting like works, you know, with the brushstrokes thing. That is now possible. That is now very much possible. But of course, the part of me as an artist is still there, because without my instructions, without my prompts, the tool cannot execute, you know, otherwise it will be generating junk art, you know. So it's still the artist who will really, as I mentioned earlier, the master should be the artist or the human. Use this, the AI thing is only the tool to execute or to give it instruction to come out with something quite fast. It's not like, oh, okay, you can paint and it will take a year, but now you can actually do it in a few minutes and you have a painting. Yeah. But of course, there is this still the dilemma, as I mentioned earlier, who owns it? Is it the AI or you? And until there is such a law that resolve these issues, then I think artists should still avoid it. It can help him actually, particularly the digital artist, but we are still avoiding it much as possible.
Well, in the old time, artists are using brush to paint. Well,
Right. But now,
in the future, the artist is using keyboard to
yeah,
brush.
keyboard. Of course, you're thinking, because you will give it instruction. What kind of instruction you're going to give this AI so that it could produce that brushstroke? That is very important. So it's interesting. You can become an artist even if you really have, cannot paint or you cannot draw. You can still be an artist. So I have some young artists like that in my group, and they are very much into digital. And I would identify it that, hey, that's a generated artwork. You should say so. How much is your part in creating that? Is it 50%, 70%, or is it 100% AI, something like that? But we are there already. We are there. AIs are here to stay. AIs are here to stay. It becomes part of our daily life. Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
yeah, I agree. It actually really crazy. Like maybe last 2 years, I won't imagine something like this would happen nowadays when I just scroll TikTok or maybe just browse the internet. I
yeah,
have
yeah.
I see lots of AI generated stuff. So even novel, comic, along with all the picture, all the arts, the
Hmm.
entire comic could be created with AI. So I think it's really crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy time right now. So regulation could really help
Mm.
with the artist industry. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, uh,
In the art world, for example, MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art, they have this exhibit before that they created some sort of a program that would generate all those paintings inside MoMA, and it would create a new art form. And in just 2 seconds, it would replace the artworks displayed on the screen. Imagine that fast, you know? And that is AI generated materials, and yet MoMA actually accepted it already. And I heard that there are galleries now who are actually espousing the idea of exhibiting digitally created artworks. They have accepted it already. Yeah. And I'm sure in the future there will be more like that. I think they will be more open to those. It will create a new avenue for not only the artists but also the gallery owners also, or even museums. Yes.
yeah, absolutely. So it's really insightful conversation with you. So the this is maybe just for our fellow creators. So do you have any
Yeah.
advice or messages you would like to share?
Oh, yes. Not very long, just a short one. I think as a creator, we have to embrace the evolving landscape, of creativity where our imagination meets the power of technology, modern technology, or even AI. The AI tools, blockchain, the new mediums, they are here to stay and will definitely be part of our lives. But remember that our unique perspective and human touch are replaceable. Yeah? And stay curious. I would say stay curious, be open to collaboration. The use of these innovations are actually as tools just to amplify our creative voice. Yeah. And the future is shaped by those who fearlessly explore the unknown. I think that is an artist should be explore. Do not be afraid of AIs or any modern technology. We should use it as a tool. And so let your creativity roar, and let's inspire one another on this exciting journey. That's my for my fellow creators or creatives. Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing your insight, Santiago. So it's been
Thank
an
you so
absolute pleasure.
much. Thank you
Yeah,
so much. I hope
it's been an
I was
absolute pleasure
able
for
to
us.
answer your questions. Some of them are academic. I actually research some of it, but yeah.
Thank you so much for doing the recording, taking the time, and also to share those experience and insight with our community. I think nowadays we are getting into a age where that everyone can become creators in different. We just create in a different form, different
right.
mediums, let's say. So I think we can all call ourselves creator.
Yes, of course.
It is not to devalue the artists, but also just to sort of like that everyone knows that we all have the power to, we all have the capability to create.
To create, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I think that's where we, through the technology, the other perspective is also to help more people to populate their content, to share more, not only just within their own country, but with the global audience around the world.
Exactly. Yes.
Thank you so much.